We like to think we've discovered every single creature on Earth, that nothing is lurking in the darkness waiting to be found. But the truth? We haven't even scratched the surface. Deep in the ocean's abyss, hidden in dense jungles, and prowling through abandoned roads, there are things that science can't explain. Eyewitnesses describe unearthly beings, too fast, too large, too intelligent to be just misidentified animals. They leave behind footprints too large for any known species, bones that don't match any fossil, and sounds that send shivers down your spine. Some of these creatures have been seen for centuries, appearing across different cultures with eerily similar descriptions. Others have only shown themselves once, leaving behind more questions than answers. And the scariest part? Well, they're still out there. So lock your doors, check under your bed, and keep an eye on the shadows, because these 15 real-life monsters might be closer than you think. All right, without any further ado, let's start off this spooky list with number 15, the Beast of Bray Road. Wisconsin isn't exactly known for monsters, but Bray Road has something lurking in the woods. Since the 1980s, people have reported a massive wolf-like creature walking on two legs, with glowing amber eyes and razor-sharp claws. Drivers have seen it lurking at the side of the road, sometimes chasing their cars at unnatural speeds. A local woman claimed it slammed onto her hood, snarling, before vanishing into the forest. Another saw it devour a deer in seconds, standing upright like a twisted demonic man-wolf hybrid. Cryptozoologists believe it could be an undiscovered predator, while skeptics blame bears, misidentified dogs, or mass hysteria. But too many reports share identical details, and those who've seen it refuse to drive that road at night. No one on Earth knows what this thing is, but what we know is that it's terrifyingly creepy. Number 14, the Bat Squatch. Most people remember Mount St. Helens eruption in 1980 as a natural disaster. But for some, it awakened something else. Shortly after the explosion, locals reported a massive winged creature with piercing red eyes soaring over the skies of Washington. It stood 9 feet tall, had leathery wings spanning 50 feet, and resembled a mix between a bat and a primate. Dubbed Bat Squatch, it's been spotted several times since, once by a terrified motorist whose car stalled as the beast landed in front of him. Another hiker claimed it let out a deafening shriek before vanishing into the mountains. Skeptics dismiss it as a misidentified eagle or folklore blown out of proportion, but sightings haven't stopped. Could the eruption have unleashed something prehistoric? Or did it always live in the mountains, waiting for the right time to reveal itself? Well, whatever the answer is, one thing's clear. Something is watching the skies over Washington. Number 13, the Michigan Dogman. In 1887, 2 Michigan lumberjacks reported seeing something they could never explain, a massive, blue-eyed creature with the body of a man and the head of a wolf. They were the first, but far from the last. Since then, the Michigan Dogman has terrorized people for over a century. Witnesses describe it as 7 feet tall, with muscular limbs, claws, and an eerie human intelligence. It howls like no wolf ever could, and those who see it swear it walks on 2 legs. One truck driver reported it keeping pace with his vehicle at 60 miles per hour, staring at him through the window before leaping back into the trees. Others claim it leaves behind prints too large for any known wolf species. Could it be an undiscovered predator, a genetic mutation, or something ancient that never died out? Whatever it is, the legend of the Michigan Dogman lives on, with sightings still being reported to this day. If you don't believe it, well, you can Google or ChatGPT it. Number 12, the Mongolian Death Worm. The Gobi Desert is a vast, lifeless wasteland, except for something lurking beneath the sand. For centuries, Mongolian nomads have feared the Olgoi Korkoi, or as they love to call it, the Great Mongolian Death Worm. This beast is so scary and deadly that even looking at it can kill you. Described as thick, Blood red and over 3 feet long, it slithers just beneath the surface, waiting for its next victim. Those who have encountered it say it spits a corrosive venom that melts flesh on contact. If that doesn't work, it can electrocute its prey from a distance. Despite countless expeditions, no one has ever caught one, yet sightings continue. Some believe it's a new species of snake or undiscovered worm, while others claim it's something ancient, a leftover from a prehistoric age. Scientists dismiss it as folklore, but locals refuse to go near certain parts of the desert. They know something is down there, hiding, waiting to strike. Number 11. The Black Shuck. In the foggy countryside of East Anglia, England, travelers have reported encounters with a terrifying beast for over 1,000 years. The Black Shuck, a massive, ghostly black dog with glowing red eyes, is said to appear before great tragedies. And if you see it, you won't live long enough to tell the tale. One of the most famous encounters happened in 1577, when the beast stormed into a church in Blithburgh, killing 2 people before vanishing into thin air. When the dust settled, claw marks were burned into the wooden doors, scars that remain to this day. Modern-day sightings are just as chilling. Drivers have reported a giant shadowy dog pacing their cars on lonely roads, only for it to disappear into thin air. Some believe it's a supernatural guardian, a warning of approaching doom. Others think it's something far older, something still hunting. And when it sets its sights on you, there's no escape. If you see one, well, just leave it alone. Number 10. The Mapinguari. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, something massive is tearing through the jungle, leaving behind only footprints the size of dinner plates and the stench of rotting flesh. Indigenous tribes have long spoken of the Mapinguari, a 10-foot-tall, red-furred beast with razor-sharp claws and impenetrable skin. It moves on 2 legs like a man but hunts like a predator, breaking into villages and ripping through livestock. Some stories claim it has a second mouth on its stomach, allowing it to devour its prey whole. Scientists dismiss it as folklore, but the footprints, strange sounds, and eerie nighttime attacks continue. Some cryptozoologists believe it could be a surviving ground sloth from the Ice Age, a prehistoric terror that refused to die. The rainforest is vast and unexplored. If something this huge, strong, and intelligent is still out there, we might not find it until it's too late. Number 9. The Lizard Man of Scape Ore Swamp. One hot summer night in 1988, a South Carolina teenager had an encounter that left his car in ruins and his nerves shattered. While changing a tire near Scape Ore Swamp, he saw something monstrous emerge from the trees, a 7-foot-tall humanoid covered in green, scaly skin with glowing red eyes and razor-sharp claws. The lizard man reportedly charged at him, shrieking in a way no animal should, and clawed deep gouges into his car before disappearing into the swamp. Soon after, other locals reported strange sightings. A farmer's livestock was mutilated, claw marks were found scratched deep into the metal, and witnesses described a creature moving faster than any human could. Some believe it's a mutant, a genetic experiment gone wrong, or even a creature that evolved undetected in the murky swamps. To this day, locals refuse to go near Scape Ore Swamp at night. Something is still in there. Now let's move to Number 8. The Ahul. In the dense rainforests of Java, Indonesia, a flying nightmare circles the trees, a creature with a 12-foot wingspan, leathery skin, and a piercing shriek that echoes through the jungle. Known as the Ahul, this giant bat-like predator is said to be strong enough to snatch monkeys, deer, and even small children. Locals report seeing a humanoid figure swooping between the trees, its massive wings flapping silently before vanishing into the night. Scientists argue it could be a giant species of bat or an unknown flying predator, but no one has ever caught one. Expedition teams have reported hearing eerie shrieks, spotting shadowy figures overhead, and finding carcasses of animals stripped to the bone in minutes. If the Ahul is real, it flies just beyond the reach of science, waiting in the shadows for the perfect moment to strike. But this thing is cute. Number 7. The Wendigo. In the frozen forests of Canada and the northern US, a horrifying legend has haunted indigenous tribes for centuries: the Wendigo. More than just a monster, the Wendigo is a cursed being, said to have once been human, before cannibalism transformed it into something monstrous. Described as tall, emaciated, with sunken eyes and decaying flesh, the Wendigo is never full. No matter how much it eats, its hunger is endless. It stalks the wilderness, hunting those who wander too far from civilization. Some claim it can mimic human voices, luring victims deep into the woods. Modern sightings still happen. Campers report seeing gaunt figures watching from the trees, hearing whispers in the wind that sound eerily familiar. Others vanish without a trace, leaving behind deep claw marks in the snow. Is the Wendigo just folklore, or is something truly lurking in the wild, waiting for the next unfortunate soul to cross its path? Number 6. The Pope Lick Monster. Kentucky's Pope Lick Train. Trestle isn't just an old bridge, it's the hunting ground of the Pope Lick Monster, a creature half man, half goat, with twisted horns and a thirst for blood. Unlike most cryptids, the Pope Lick Monster doesn't just appear, it lures you in. Legends say it can hypnotize people, compelling them to walk onto the tracks, where a fast-moving train finishes the job. Those who survive say they saw a figure lurking near the bridge, its hooves clacking on the wood, its deep voice whispering commands. Skeptics claim it's just an urban legend, but that doesn't explain the number of deaths tied to the trestle. Too many people have been found on the tracks, disoriented, seconds before disaster struck. No one knows exactly what the Pope Lick Monster is, but one thing is clear. If you hear the call, you may not make it back. Number 5. The Night Crawlers. Most monsters are terrifyingly massive, but the Fresno night crawlers are terrifyingly alien. First captured on security camera footage, these creatures appear to be nothing but long white legs, gliding soundlessly through the darkness. Spotted in Fresno, California, and later in Ohio, the night crawlers move unnaturally, almost like they're floating rather than walking. No one has ever seen their upper bodies, if they even have any. They leave no tracks, no signs of weight, nothing human. Some theorists believe they're extraterrestrial, observing us from the shadows. Others think they could be spirits, ancient entities tied to the land. The fact that they appear in different parts of the country, seemingly without a trace, only adds to the mystery. No confirmed encounters, no reports of aggression, just silent, unsettling figures caught on camera when no one is looking. Number 4. The Kushtaka. In the icy waters of Alaska, fishermen tell stories of the Kushtaka, a creature that wears the skin of a man but hunts like a beast. It is said to be a shape-shifting otter spirit, one that can mimic human voices to lure travelers to their doom. Unlike most monsters, the Kushtaka doesn't just kill, it steals souls. People who disappear in the wilderness are sometimes found later, alive but changed, their memories erased, their eyes empty. Some never return at all. Locals swear by the legend, claiming to have seen humanoid figures near the riverbanks, only for them to suddenly shift into otters and vanish beneath the waves. Those who hear whispers calling their name near the water know not to answer, because it's never a person calling. So, is the Kushtaka an undiscovered predator? Or something far older? Something still watching? Number 3. The Loveland Frogman. In Loveland, Ohio, the police were the first to see it. A bipedal reptilian creature standing near the road, staring with glowing eyes before vanishing into the river. This was no alligator or misidentified animal. This was the Loveland Frogman. Described as a 4-foot-tall humanoid with leathery skin and webbed hands, the Frogman lurks near the Little Miami River, appearing only in flashes before disappearing beneath the water. In 1972, a police officer reported seeing one scurry across the road, upright like a man, before diving into the river below. Other sightings followed. Locals claimed to hear strange croaking noises, saw clawed footprints near the riverbanks, and even found unidentified amphibious skin left behind on rocks. Whether it's a mutant, an undiscovered species, or something more unnatural, the Frogman remains one of Ohio's strangest mysteries. Number 2. The Mokele Mbembe. For centuries deep in the Congo Basin, locals have spoken of a massive, long-necked creature, one that resembles the dinosaurs that should have gone extinct 65 million years ago. They call it Mokele Mbembe, one who stops the flow of rivers. Described as resembling a small brachiosaurus, with thick gray skin and a tail powerful enough to crush a canoe, the creature has been avoiding discovery for generations. Expeditions have brought back strange footprints, enormous drag marks along riverbanks, and terrified testimonies from locals who swear they've seen it. Some believe it's a surviving dinosaur species, while others think it could be a giant unknown reptile. Whatever it is, it's been spotted too many times for comfort. With thousands of miles of unexplored jungle, the idea of a prehistoric beast still roaming the earth might not be as crazy as it sounds. Number 1. The Ozark Howler. In the rugged Ozark Mountains, something massive and feline stalks the hills. But this isn't just a big cat. The Ozark Howler is a nightmare in fur. Described as larger than a cougar, with thick black fur, glowing red eyes, and curled horns, the howler lets out an unearthly scream that freezes people in their tracks. Hunters have reported being stalked by an unseen predator, their dogs refusing to move forward, and their guns useless against whatever was watching them. Locals claim it's been around for centuries, evading capture, leaving massive claw marks on trees and bone-chilling wails echoing through the valleys. Is it a mutant, a spirit, or a prehistoric predator that refuses to go extinct? No one knows. But one thing is certain. If you hear the howlers scream, it's already too late. If you found this video interesting, please like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.